Hello Year 6, this is Mrs. Small here and I'll be taking your maths lesson for today. So I'm hopefully talking to Yellow Group. So Yellow Group, first thing I would like you to do is to do your arithmetic warm-up, which we do every day in class and you have been doing at home. So you've got your grid here with your 4 questions on. What I would like you to do is to stop the video now, give yourself 5 minutes to complete these questions. When you've done them, use the answer sheet that I sent out to you last night, mark them, and when you're ready, restart the video and we'll move on to the main part of the lesson. Okay, Yellow Group, so by now you will have done your arithmetic warm-up, so you're all ready to start the main part of the lesson. So today is Monday the 22nd of February, and today we are going to be mentally solving division calculations using your times table facts. So times table knowledge here is key and it's going to be very helpful for you. You'll be successful today if you use your times table facts to help you to divide, if you fully explain your reasoning, and if you use the inverse calculations to check your answers. Now don't worry, I'm going to take you all through this. We're going to do 2 examples and then you're going to have a go by yourself. So let's have a look. First of all, let's just recap on what is division. Now, you should already know because you've been doing division right the way through your school years. So let's look here first. What is division? It is the act of separating or splitting something into equal parts. And that's the key word here, into equal parts. So other ways you may have seen division presented. This is the division symbol. And this is the language that you will hear around division. So you've got divide, share equally, groups of, divided by, each. You might have a remainder for your division if it doesn't go in equally. And one way that you have done it in the past is to use repeated subtraction. Now, we're not going to be doing that today. And if we share equally, you know that I've got 12 dots here, so we would be sharing them, moving them into our circle. So here we've got our arrays, which you have been doing, which you did lower down the school to practice your division. So this is how it works. We're doing it equally, sharing it equally. So here we're dividing our 12 by 3 and sharing it equally. Now I'll use my times table facts to help me, which is what you'll be doing today. And I know that 4 times 3 or 3 times 4 is 12. And I've divided that equally. So I've got 3 into 12, 3 divided by 12, 12 divided by 3 goes into 4, goes 4 times equally. So that is your division facts. So now let's see how we're going to apply that multiplication knowledge, your times table knowledge, to the actual questions. So you're going to use your knowledge of times tables, the factors, to solve division calculations. Now, here's the definition of a factor, just in case you can't remember, but we did recap on this in the autumn term, and we did quite a bit of work on this one. But just to recap, a factor is a number that is multiplied by another number to give a product, and the product is the answer. So here you've got 7 times 8 equals 56. Now, because those 2 numbers are times together to get to 56, I know both of these are factors of 56. Both of these will go into 56 wholly. So your times table knowledge is very important in this particular lesson. So let's apply that now. So we have got a question here. 327 divided by 3. Now, we've got various stages that I want you to do to represent this question. I'm only going to ask you to do 5 questions today. And the reason I'm going to do that is I want you to do these particular stages here. So the first thing is, how can I represent this calculation pictorially? So you are going to draw a bar model to represent this. So we have here 327. This is our whole. And it's going to be split 3 ways. So my bottom bar is divided into 3. Now, at the moment, I haven't got a clue what the answer is because I haven't done my calculation. So I'm just going to represent this pictorially by putting question marks in the bottom. Now, it might be that when you've done your calculation, you might want to pop your answer into this box. But the first thing that you do is represent the question, and this is key, pictorially. 327, your whole number, which is being divided equally by 3. That's the first thing you have to do, bar model. Then the second thing that you do is partition, and you can see I've numbered these to help you. So the second thing is we partition this up. We use our knowledge of place value to split the number. So here I have got 300s. Remember, I've got my ones, my tens, my hundreds. If you want to, you could actually type them above. I'm going to go the other way because I'm typing. So I've got my hundreds, I've got my tens, and I've got my ones. Whoops, my ones. So I've got my place value headings there. That might help you if you want to do this. So I'm splitting my hundreds up, and I've got 300, and I'm left with 27. Now I've got something there that I can work with. I've partitioned it out, and I'm looking at that division number there, the number I'm dividing by 3, and I've got a 3 here. I can see that's going to go into that easily. So now I'm going to use my multiplication and division facts to help me. So let's get rid of this box now for stage 3. So I know that 300 will be divided by 3 because 3 goes into 3 once, but it's 300, not 3. So my 1 is going to be 100 times bigger. So it will be 100. And then I know that 3, I know my times table knowledge, 3 times what equals 27. So I know that it is 9. 3 9s are 27, or 9 3s are 27. So there I have got my multiplication and division facts for that number, and I've partitioned my number out to make it easier for me. So what easy multiplication facts did I use to solve that problem? Let's see what's under here. Yes, 3 times 100 equals 300, 3 times 9 equals 27, and 3 times 100 equals 327. So I've added all these together, and I know that my answer is 100 plus 9 equals 109. So I've calculated my answer, and I've done my inverse here to help me. So let's do this one all over again. Okay, let me just cover these all up first so that we don't get confused with all this information, and we'll do them step by step by step here. Blank these all out. Okay. So what is the very first thing I need to do, yellow group? Well, I look at my help sheet here. I've got to bar model. So I've got to bar model out the question. So I am dividing my whole number 621 equally by 3. So I've got 621 here, and I've split it into 3 sections. I've split it into 3 sections because I'm dividing by 3. If I was dividing by 6, I would have split it into 6 equal parts below. Then I could be putting my question mark here to represent it. Where's my question mark on? Here we go. Pop this one over here. Mark over here. My question mark here. There we go. So now I've represented that pictorially. I've bar modeled it. So now I'm going to partition out my number. Now I've done something a little bit different here because I know I'm dividing by 3, and I've done something that's going to help me. And if you do the same, then it will help you when you come to your calculations. So here I have partitioned out using my place value. I've partitioned my hundreds and my tens and my ones out. So hundreds, I've got 600 there, and I got 21. Now, I could divide 600 by 3, and if you're comfortable doing that, that's fine. But what I've done to help myself is I've taken it a stage further. So I've got 600, I've split into 2. So I know 300 plus 300 equals 600, and that makes that division very easy for me because I've got 3 goes into 300. Which is what we did in the previous question, if you remember. So I've done my bar model, I've done my partitioning. Now I'm going to use my multiplication and division facts to help me. So Here, I know that 300 divided by 3 equals 100 because 3 goes into 3 once, but I'm not doing 3 into 3. I'm not dividing 3 into just 3. I'm dividing it into 300, so my answer needs to be 100 times bigger. So my answer is 100. Then I know that using my factor knowledge, I know that 3 multiplied by something equals 21. So I have to check my 3 times table to find out what I'm timesing 3 by to get to 21. And we know that it is 7. So 3 times 7 equals 21. So I've done my bar model, I've done my partition, I've done my multiplication and division facts. Now I have to calculate my answer. So I've got 2 lots of 300 here, so I'm going to do 100 plus another 100, because that's my answer for each one of these, plus my answer for 21 divided by 3 is 7, is 207. So I know that each one of these parts is 207. So that's stage 4. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do the inverse to check my answer. And that's what I suggest you do as well. So you've got 207 multiplied by 3 equals 621. So by doing that inverse, I know that this calculation is correct. So yellow group, that is what I want you to do today. I want you to follow all this process to answer your questions. Let's have a look at the questions that you've got to answer. What I've also included for you is a help sheet here that's in front of the questions as well, but I would suggest using this, but also freezing this particular calculation here, which shows you exactly what you should do using this checklist to help you. But what I want you to do is to do task 1. Use your factor knowledge to mentally solve these calculations. Now you have bronze, silver, and gold. Choose a level that you feel comfortable with. Now, I don't mind you starting off on bronze if that's where you're comfortable with, but if you find they're too easy for you and there's not enough challenge, move to silver. If silver's not challenging enough for you, move to gold. But I want, at the end of the day, you to have done 5 questions, solving them mentally. I'd like you to mark them as you go, so that you do want mark it, move on. If you're not getting it right, purple pen and go back and find your answer. Find out where you've gone wrong. When you have done that and you have got 5 correct and you feel confident, I want you to do a think pink for me. And the think pink I want you to do is to apply your knowledge to a worded problem. And your worded problem is here. Eggs are put into boxes holding a dozen. A farmer wants to put 648 eggs into boxes. How many boxes will he have filled? Now you need to know that a dozen equals 12. So eggs are put into boxes of 12. He has 648 eggs. How many boxes will he have filled? So that is your think pink task that I would like you to do to show me that you can apply your knowledge of division facts into a worded problem. Once you have done that, yellow group, I would like you to send your work into your class teacher at the end of the day. See you tomorrow.